Hi, I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're going to continue our series on the Dell PowerEdge R7425. In this video, we're going to specifically cover drives, both hard drives and solid-state drives. Let's get going. Hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the Dell PowerEdge R7425. Do us a favor, if you find anything that helps in this video, click that like, smash that subscribe. All right, we'll top in. This video is going to be specifically dedicated to drives, with hard drives and solid-state drives, as we mentioned. So what we're going to do in the video as a whole, we're going to start by going over the different types of chassis, because that's actually going to be really important, because depending on the type of chassis you have will depend on what kind of drives you can use. Then we're going to go over the different types of drives that are compatible and compare the different speeds and sizes for those different types, so you can kind of figure out, hey, what's the best way to go with the type of chassis that you do have. Then we're going to actually install the drives, which is really easy because it's a hot swap drive. Just pop it in, one of the easiest installs you'll ever do. Then we're going to test with two tools that we're big fans of. One is just going to be Dell Diagnostics, which is just right on the motherboard, right on the system. But Dell Diagnostics will actually test a lot more than just the drives. It'll test the entire system, so it's a great tool to use. Then we're going to use an outside tool that we like called HD Sentinel. In HD Sentinel, what we like to do is we'll actually hook up a storage array, and we will throw in our drives before we ever put them into a live production environment, and it'll allow us to see if it's new, right? People will tell you they're selling you a new drive and it's not, right? You can plug it in there. It'll tell you the power on hours. It'll tell you the health score. It'll tell you just a lot of great useful information. So we'll show you how to use that as well. So a couple of fun tools that you can use. So let's hop in all the good stuff. All right, first things first, what types of chassis are there? Well, we're going to throw up a nice little handy chart right now. This is going to break down the different types of chassis options that you can use for the R7425. The chassis we have in front of you is my personal favorite, the 24-bay NVMe chassis, which is a great option for an older system. All right, so let's start with the types of compatible drives here. So there are 7 different types of compatible drives for the R7425. So let's just break it all down. So there's going to be 5 of them in the 2.5 inch or the small form factor section. So you're going to have 3 different types of SSDs. That's going to be your SATA SSD, your SAS SSD, your NVMe SSD. Then you're going to have a SATA hard drive or a SAS hard drive. So those are the 5 types of 2.5 inch. So let's break those down first. So the speeds will be 6 gigabit per second for your SATA SSD. It's going to be 12 for your SAS, and NVMe is actually 3.5 gigabyte versus gigabit, which is, I think, breaks down to 28 gigabits, so it's a huge speed increase. Now, when you go to the hard drives, you're going to get a rotational spinning disk. So for SATA, it's going to be 7.2K. That's what you're going to get. It's kind of a bummer, honestly. And then for SAS, you're going to get 7.2K, you're going to get 10K, or you're going to get 15K. I will note, with SAS hard drives, because they are going 15,000 times per minute spinning around, the ball bearings will wear out over time. They're prone to fail. Another reason I'm a huge fan of SSDs, better performance and more reliability as a whole. So just know that when you're using a mechanical device like a hard drive, the ball bearings will wear out and they will fail over time. So let's talk about the sizes. For a SATA solid-state drive, you get 7.68 TBs is going to be your max, 15.36 for SAS solid-state drive, and 15.36 for NVMe solid-state. So NVMe and SAS are going to be your highest scalability on the solid-state side, solid-state drive side. And with the 2.5 inch hard drives, it's super womp here. You got 2 terabytes max for a SATA hard drive and 2.4 for a SAS. So, I mean, really, yeah, you get what you get, right? I'm a big fan of solid-state drives. We'll just say that. Now let's go to large form factor drives. So just to compare the two, in case you're interested and you're confused about a large form factor versus small form factor. So this is your large form factor 3.5 inch, and this is your small form factor 2.5 inch. It's literally just the size of your drive. Nothing to do with the actual capacity, but just the physical size of the drive. So with a large form factor, you're going to have a SATA hard drive and a SAS hard drive, and that's going to be the last 2 options. With a SATA hard drive and a SAS hard drive, it's going to be the exact same speeds from your large form factor, your small form factor, so 7.2K for SATA, 7.2K, 10K, and 15K for SAS. Exact same stuff that we literally just covered. The difference is going to be the overall capacity, much bigger for a large form factor for much cheaper. You can put one of these 22 terabytes in for roughly the same exact cost. And I skipped over that, right? 22 terabytes is the max for SAS and SATA hard drives, but you can put a 22 terabyte in for basically the same cost as a 2.4 terabyte SAS 2.5 inch, which is kind of insane when you really think about it. So that is the beauty and the advantage of your large form factor drives. And the whole point of them, honestly, is huge capacities, great for storage. On the solid state side drive, or on the 2.5 inch drive side, I always try to go NVMe when your chassis is compatible with it. If not, SAS is a great option because you have faster speeds. SATA is still a great option as well for SSDs, but I would definitely always highly recommend SSDs over hard drives, both performance and reliability and security. That's just the way to go. All right, so one other important note, you can use the S1 BOSS card that is compatible with the R7425. So the S1 BOSS card is compatible. That is a PCIe card that you can drop in and put in two M.2 SATA cards. Right now we're actually running a special. We'll drop a link in here where you can buy one for under $100 that comes with the BOSS card and two M.2s, all Dell original. They are used, but great overall health scores, 90% plus health. Good cards, under $100. Great solution for a general boot drive solution. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna do an install, which is gonna be super easy because these are hot swap. But before we do, I'm gonna grab my ESD gear. It is always best to wear ESD protection when you are handling parts or handling your equipment as a whole. So I'm gonna grab that, be right back. All right, have my ESD gear on. We're safe to handle our parts, work on our machine. So I wanna remove this old hard drive here. We're just gonna push the red circle. Just gonna pop it open, pull your tray out, very simple. This is an old 2 TB SATA. I mean, great hard drive, but you know, nothing special by any means. We're gonna upgrade this for this specific build. This is gonna be a 7.68 TB, great SSD as a whole. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push our little red circle, pop open our tray. You'll notice there's two metal bars, one on each side. This is going to be set. Let's zoom in right here. You can see the grooves on the top and the bottom. We're just going to line this all up, slide this in. Sometimes this will get stuck, and if it does, right here is a little spring. That little spring, we'll try to zoom in as best we can, but that little spring is very important. If it ever gets stuck, you just push this in and it'll allow your tray to slide in. So we're just going to go ahead and pop this in, and then we're just going to click it, and you hear the nice click. It's fully inserted. Super easy install, one of the easiest installs that you'll do. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to use two cool testing tools, Dell Diagnostics and HD Sentinel.
Hey guys, this has been the Cloud Ninjas, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to test your hard drives and solid state drives with Dell Diagnostics and HD Sentinel. Both Dell Diagnostics and HD Sentinel are great tools for not just testing your hard drives, but for testing all of the other components in your system. Specifically, Dell Diagnostics will test more than just your hard drives. It'll go ahead and test your graphics card, your CPU, your memory, your RAID card, your network card, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's a really neat tool that allows you to be able to see whether your system is in good health or not. And then HD Sentinel in particular will just test your hard drives, but you can see things like the power on hours. It'll give you like a health score to tell you like how much life the drive still has. So it is a really cool tool. Both of them are very easy to use, provide a lot of information, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use both of them. So let's go ahead and get started. First, we're going to go ahead and get started with Dell Diagnostics. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and boot up your server. Once you boot up your server, you want to go ahead and press F10, and this will go ahead and bring us into the Lifecycle Controller. Once we're in Lifecycle Controller, we can go ahead and scroll down to where it says Hardware Diagnostics, and then we want to go ahead and click on Run Hardware Diagnostics. And then you'll get this little warning right here. So it's just going to say it's going to take several minutes, so we can go ahead and accept that. And this will load us into Dell Diagnostics. So actually getting into Dell Diagnostics and actually running the test is pretty simple. So we're just going to let these tests run, and these tests can take several minutes up to several hours. So go ahead and just wait this out. If you're familiar with 12th gen and 13th gen Dell PowerEdge servers, you'll notice that this looks very, very different. In the 12th gen and 13th gen, you can actually see the different tests on the left-hand side of the screen, and you have a lot more information on the middle of the screen. And it's just a lot more simpler of a screen, but it's just gonna go ahead and run through all of these tests. And at the bottom, you can pause these tests if you want, and then you can also see like what test specifically is running at that current time, an estimate of how much time is left for that test. So like I said, these tests are gonna take a little bit of time, so I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward. So once that final test has stopped running, it'll go ahead and stop, and then we will get a message that pops up on the screen that says success. So this means all of our tests have passed. If you had any issues, then you would get an alternative message saying like, hey, these tests failed. And at the very end here, we can actually view all of the information and all the different tests that were ran. And this screen's a little bit more similar as to something we'd see on 12th gen and 13th gen PowerEdge servers. But yeah, we can go through here, see all the test results for each individual test, which is pretty neat. The information about the system health, the configuration, and we can even go into the event log, which is pretty useful. So that is how we do Dell Diagnostics and how we can test our hard drives, but also, you know, everything else in our system. And if you really want to see if your system is healthy, then go ahead and run Dell Diagnostics. It'll give you a lot of information if all the components are working the way that they should. So now I'm going to show you how to test your hard drives with HD Sentinel. Alrighty guys, so I have HD Sentinel pulled up right now, and as you can see, we currently have 2 drives plugged in. We have this installed into a storage array where we like to plug in multiple drives at a time so we can test those drives. HD Sentinel is an awesome tool because you can see things like the power on hours, which is great, especially when you're buying used equipment. You can see how long that drive has been in use. You don't want to be using drives that have been, you know, heavily used, because then you have a higher risk of drive failure. And that's one of the reasons why HD Sentinel is such a cool tool. But as you can see, we can just go ahead and plug a drive into the array, and it'll automatically populate within the software. Like I said, lots of information. It'll give you health scores of the drives. As you can see, the 2 we have up top, they have a 100% health score, while the one at the bottom has a 99%. So all pretty good. So I hope you guys found this video useful, and if you did, go ahead, smash the subscribe and leave a like. If you're interested in purchasing a custom built server, or you're looking to buy some drives, we do have plenty of those in stock, so you can go reach out to us at sales@cloudninjas.com. sales@cloudninjas.com. Anyways guys, thank you for stopping by.